CEO and co-founder from Solidee Skincare is joining us this morning. They are changing the game in SPF technology because it hasn't really been changed in over 50 years. Their technology embodies naturally produced vitamin D without sacrificing the sun protection. Welcome to the show this morning, Matthew Collette. Hey, Matthew.
Hi there, thank you. Can you hear me?
How are you? Yes, no, we're managing to just get you there, so that is all good. But can you explain to me and to Alana, why do we need vitamin D? Why is that so essential?
Yeah, I guess vitamin D has become the wonder vitamin over the last 5 to 10 years. It's actually, funnily enough, it's a misnamed vitamin. It's actually a hormone, a steroid hormone that our body actually naturally develops when our skin exposes to UVB light from the sun. So what it does is it basically goes through a number of formats through the system, through the blood, through the kidneys, and pumps out what we actually call vitamin D. And it's extremely important because what it does is overall it strengthens our immune system. So it gives our body a fighting chance to pretty much fight any known disease to man. There's actually a lot of studies coming out about vitamin D and the need to strengthen against coronavirus. So there's a lot of research around that as well.
Do you know what's funny is I remember my mum saying to me that she's like, Ben, you're not getting enough vitamin D. And that was in sort of my early 20s when I was basically sleeping all day and going to the clubs all night. And she was like, you are missing the vitamin D in your life, Ben. You need to change your lifestyle.
I have been taking vitamin D tablets, Matthew, because of what you're saying in regards to how it actually works internally. But this is why your product's so fascinating, because your product actually helps us absorb the vitamin D. Tell us a little bit about your technology and why it's different from other sunscreen brands.
So sunscreens obviously were developed to block out as much of the UV light, and UV light comes in two ways. There's UVA and UVB. UVA is what we get all year round. It's a very strong ray. It's more carcinogenic. And UVB, we only actually get UVB light through the hotter months, through summer, between about 10 and 2, exactly the same time we're educated to stay out of the sun. So that UVB light, although it is dangerous in quantity, is what we use to make vitamin D. So what we've developed is a sunscreen that lets in that UVB light. Obviously, we can't let in too much, or like I said, it can be carcinogenic. So we're playing with the rules and the regulations to allow some of that UVB light to come through, but we're still protecting with an SPF 50. So I guess what we're trying to create, or what we have created, is the best of both worlds.
You know what I think would be interesting is how has COVID-19 affected your business? Because I'm assuming with people, they're being locked inside or following those restriction laws that maybe they're not getting enough sun. So is that affecting your business?
Look, it twofold. It affected our business because we're an exporter. We're exporting into Asia. Asia is a big part of our market, so that sort of shut down. But conversely, like I just said, the education around vitamin D deficiency related to coronavirus is growing, and so that's actually helped us. What we've seen is a spike. Everything we were working on in Asia and North America is suddenly coming back in greater numbers and more opportunity because of it.
So where do you go to from here, Matthew? Like, where do you see the growth? Because obviously what you're dealing with right now, you're very unique in what you're offering. How do you sort of keep the copycats at bay, and where do you sort of see the growth from here?
Yeah, well, look, you can never always keep the copycats at bay. My theory is if someone's copying you, you've done something right. So I think there's a bit of a compliment in there.
A bit of flattery.
We've got patents. Yeah, we've got patents all around the world to protect us. Obviously, patents are only as strong as the wallet, but we have protection around the world. What we've done in Australia, we've launched our own product, which is called Solidee, but our business model is licensing and private label. So we're just about to launch. We've got 3 massive global opportunities, two very, very large global pharmaceuticals and one large global distribution company who are going to take on the technology and put it in their own brand. So it won't be known as Solidee, it'll be known as their own brand, but they'll be using our technology. So the end game for us is a bit similar to when the first water resistant ever came out. Within 3 or 4 years, every product on the shelf had to be water resistant to be competitive.
Yeah.
So that's where we're heading.
I was about to say, where can people buy your products? But what I am going to say is, where can I buy your products?
Well, at the moment we're in Woolies and Chemist Warehouse here, but we've got a little e-commerce site as well. But like I said, eventually we actually won't have our own product in Australia either. We're working with a partner to purely be the technology within, or the intel within, skincare. So, and the good thing is we don't just make sunscreen. We can make pretty much any skincare with an SPF. So it's a big world.
Oh, well, Ben practically lives at Chemist Warehouse. He's actually renting out aisle 3 of the South Yarra store in Melbourne.
It's true.
Currently.
It's so true.
So he will be just a hop, skip, and an aisle away from your products this morning.
I'll have to send you some, Ben.
Oh, you know that I will hold you to that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll hunt you down. No,
problem.
this has been.
It'll look good sitting on the desk right there.
Yes,
yep.
that's it. And we love getting a bit of a tan, but we want to get our vitamin D up, so it's perfect. Thank you for sharing your story with us this morning, Matthew. It's fascinating stuff that you've got going on there at Solar D.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on the show, and have a nice weekend.
You did such a great job. We can't wait
Great
to get
tan.
involved with your products, that's for sure. You have a good weekend. See you, mate.
Thank you.